Welcome back to the channel JF Coin, where today we uncover the amazing world of rare coins and hidden treasures sitting quietly in our pockets and piggy banks. Today we are going to dive deep into the story and the unbelievable value of the 1977 1-cent Ultra Lincoln penny from the United States of America. This tiny copper coin that many of us take for granted has an extraordinary history, and in some rare cases can be worth hundreds of dollars on the collector's market. So sit tight, because you are about to discover why this 1-cent coin has been called a small piece of American heritage, and why some examples are selling for as much as $442 in today's market. Let us begin with the history. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American coinage since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the very first United States coin to feature a real historical figure rather than symbols of liberty. By the year 1977, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly 7 decades and was one of the most familiar coins in every household across the nation. But what makes the 1977 penny so fascinating is that this particular year produced a range of coins that collectors have learned to value, not only for their condition but also for the small variations and minting details that make them unique. The 1977 Lincoln penny was struck primarily in copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams and carries the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, the word "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1977 clearly stamped to the right. On the reverse you will find the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, with the words "United States of America" across the top and 1 cent boldly across the bottom. At first glance it looks like just another penny that we have all seen a million times. But collectors know that looks can be deceiving. Why is this coin so special? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and collector demand. While millions of pennies were minted in 1977, not all of them have survived in pristine form. Most circulated pennies are worth only face value, but the ultra-condition coins that have been preserved without scratches, stains, or heavy wear can reach remarkable prices at auctions. The coin grading scale developed by the numismatic community measures the condition of a coin from poor to perfect mint state. A coin that has survived since 1977 in near flawless condition with sharp details, shiny luster, and no damage is what collectors call an Ultra Lincoln penny. These coins are the gems of the series, and they are the ones that can command prices well over $400. Let us talk about the market value. A regular 1977 penny from circulation is usually just worth 1 cent unless you happen to find one in an unusual era variety. But high-grade examples that have been professionally graded and sealed in protective holders can sell for astonishing prices. Some auctions have recorded sales of 1977 pennies in mint state 66 and higher for around $400 to $442 depending on demand at the time. Imagine turning a tiny copper coin that costs just a penny into a treasure worth hundreds of dollars. That is the thrill of coin collecting, and the reason why so many people are digging through their change jars and old piggy banks looking for hidden rarities. Collectors also pay close attention to mint marks. In 1977, pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which carries no mint mark, and at the Denver Mint, which carries the small letter D beneath the date. Both versions can be valuable in high grades, though the Denver minted coins tend to have slightly higher mintages. Error coins from 1977 are even more exciting, because any mistake during the minting process, such as a double die strike, an off-center strike, or a clipped planchet, can multiply the value instantly. Some error pennies from the 70s have sold for thousands of dollars simply because of these unusual production quirks. Now let us take a moment to think about why collectors are so passionate about Lincoln cents. It is not just about the money, though the financial value is always attractive. Collectors see the Lincoln penny as a symbol of American history, representing one of the greatest presidents of all time. Each year's edition tells its own story, and each coin that survives in pristine condition is like a time capsule from the past. The 1977 penny in particular carries with it the spirit of the late 70s, a time of economic change, social movements, and cultural transformation in the United States. To hold one in your hand is to hold a piece of that history. So what should you do if you think you have a 1977 penny? The first step is to examine it carefully. Look at the date, the mint mark, and the overall condition. If the coin is scratched, dirty, or worn, it will likely only be worth face value. But if you discover a coin that looks unusually shiny with no signs of wear, it may be worth sending to a professional grading service. Grading services like PCGS or NGC will authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which is the key to unlocking its real value in the collector's market. Remember, a coin graded as mint state 65 or higher can potentially bring hundreds of dollars. Another important tip is to keep your coins safe. Do not clean them, as cleaning can damage the surface and reduce their value significantly. Store them in protective holders or albums that shield them from dust and moisture. Collectors prize originality, and coins that remain in their natural state are always worth more. The story of the 1977 1-cent Ultra Lincoln penny reminds us that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. A simple coin that we use every day for change can, in rare cases, become a collector's dream worth hundreds of dollars. And it is not only about profit, it is about preserving history and appreciating the artistry and effort that goes into every coin the United States Mint produces. So, the next time you get a penny in your change, do not just toss it aside. Look closely. You might be holding a coin that tells a story from decades ago, and who knows, maybe it is one of those rare 1977 Ultra pennies worth $442 or even more. Thank you for watching and joining me on this fascinating journey into the world of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this story of the 1977 Lincoln penny, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video so more people can learn about the hidden treasures in their pockets. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your coins safe, and your passion for history alive. Do you want me to also create a catchy YouTube title and thumbnail text for this script that can attract more clicks? Today we are unlocking the secrets of one of the most exciting pennies ever struck in the United States Mint history. We are talking about the famous 1-cent 1983 D Ultra Lincoln penny. This tiny coin that most people would overlook in their pocket change has the potential to be worth hundreds of dollars, and in certain conditions even far more than that. So sit back and stay tuned, because you might be sitting on a treasure hidden right inside your coin jar or tucked away in your drawer. Now let's begin with the story. The year was 1983. Just 1 year earlier, in 1982, the United States Mint made a dramatic change to the penny. For over a century, the Lincoln cent had been made primarily out of copper. But due to rising metal costs, the Mint made the decision to switch the composition from nearly pure copper to a new formula that used a zinc core with just a thin copper plating on top. This change created one of the most dramatic eras in modern penny collecting, because both copper cents and zinc cents were struck around this time and mistakes were made. The 1983 D penny minted in Denver belongs to this transitional period. The D mint mark below the date shows it came from the Denver Mint, and while hundreds of millions of these pennies were struck, only a fraction have survived in pristine condition or with certain rare errors. Collectors are always hunting for these, because small details can mean the difference between a coin worth just 1 cent and a coin worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Let's talk about why the 1983 D Ultra Lincoln penny has become such a legendary coin. First, it is tied to the famous double die errors. Some examples of the 1983 penny show dramatic doubling on the lettering and numbers. If you look closely at the words Liberty, or In God We Trust, or even at the date itself, you can sometimes see strong and clear doubling. These double die errors are highly collectible and in demand. Second, there are rare cases of 1983 pennies being struck on the wrong planchets. Imagine a coin that was meant to be zinc being struck on a copper blank, or even on a foreign coin blank. Those mistakes slip through the cracks of the minting process, and today they sell for staggering amounts of money at auctions. But the real magic of the 1983 D Lincoln penny comes when condition enters the picture. Coins are graded on a scale from poor all the way up to mint state and beyond. A 1983 D penny that has been in circulation with scratches and wear might only be worth face value. But when you find one that has been preserved in gem mint state with blazing luster and no marks, that is where the value climbs dramatically. Professional coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have documented sales of these coins in high grades reaching into the hundreds of dollars. Some rare era varieties have even sold for thousands. In fact, one remarkable 1983 D penny in top grade condition reached a market value of over $400 and $42 exactly. Think about that for a second. A single cent coin that cost 1 penny to make in 1983 now being valued at over 400 times its face value. That is the thrill of coin collecting. It is about discovering hidden treasures that the average person would pass by without a second thought. Now let us go deeper into the design of this coin. The obverse or front side features the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which first appeared on the cent back in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side in 1983, we see the Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, showing the great monument in Washington, D.C. with the tiny statue of Lincoln visible between the columns. Every detail matters in the world of coins. Even the tiniest doubling in the columns of the memorial or an extra thickness in the lettering can signal a rare variety that collectors chase after. Collectors often ask, "How do I know if I have a valuable 1983 D penny?" The answer is simple but requires patience. First, check the weight. A copper penny weighs about 3.1 grams while the newer zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. If you find a 1983 D penny that weighs 3.1 grams, you might have discovered an extremely rare copper transitional error worth thousands. Second, check for doubling under magnification, especially in the lettering and date. And third, look at the overall condition. Even a common 1983 D penny can be worth a small fortune if it is in flawless mint state condition. The market for these coins is very active. Collectors and investors are always keeping an eye on auctions and coin shows for opportunities to add one of these Ultra Lincoln pennies to their collection. Prices fluctuate depending on rarity, demand, and grade, but the trend has been upward over the years as more people get involved in coin collecting and as the supply of untouched examples gets smaller. What makes this coin so attractive is not just its potential value but also the story it tells. It represents a turning point in American coinage, the shift from copper to zinc, and the mistakes that occurred during that change. It represents the artistry of the Lincoln design that has been beloved for more than a century. And it represents the idea that even the smallest coin in our pocket can hold a big surprise. So the next time you come across a 1983 penny with the Denver Mint mark, do not ignore it. Take a closer look. Weigh it. Inspect it under magnification. You never know, you might be holding a coin that is not just 1 cent but $442 or even more depending on its variety and condition. Remember, friends, coin collecting is about more than just money. It is about history, about stories, about the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovery. The 1983 D Ultra Lincoln penny is a shining example of how rich and fascinating this hobby can be. From a simple pocket change find to a high-value collectible, this coin proves that treasures are hiding in plain sight every single day. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin, make sure to like the video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of coins. And who knows, maybe the next treasure we talk about will be sitting in your very own collection. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep the passion for history alive through every coin you discover. Do you want me to also add a punchy intro and outro lines tailored for maximum YouTube engagement style, like, "This penny could change your life," or "Check your pockets right now"? Today we are diving deep into the story and hidden value of the 1 cent 2001 Lincoln penny. At first glance it looks like just another ordinary copper-colored coin, but the truth is that certain examples of this coin have shocked collectors and sold for hundreds of dollars in today's market. Some of these rare varieties have even been valued at around $442, which makes this humble little cent a true hidden treasure. Now let us begin with the history. The Lincoln cent is one of the most famous coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this penny became the very first United States coin to feature the portrait of a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it carried Lincoln's bust on the obverse side, and for many decades the reverse side displayed the wheat ears design. By 1959 the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking 150 years since Lincoln's birth. The design remained for decades, and that is the design you will see on the 2001 Lincoln penny, which shows the Lincoln Memorial on the back and Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front. But why is the 2001 penny so interesting? The year 2001 may not sound too far back in history, but it was a time when billions of pennies were struck by the United States Mint. Most of them were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, carrying either the P mint mark or the D mint mark. A few were made in San Francisco as proof coins specially struck for collectors. Because so many were made, most 2001 pennies are worth only their face value. But here is the exciting part. Certain rare varieties, error strikes, and ultra-high-grade examples can command very strong prices in the market. Collectors pay huge premiums for coins that stand out from the ordinary. Imagine this. A normal 2001 penny in circulation is just 1 cent. But if your coin happens to have a dramatic mint error like a doubled die, a broad strike, an off-center strike, or a clipped planchet, the value can shoot up instantly. Some of these error coins are sold for hundreds of dollars depending on how dramatic the mistake is. Even more fascinating are the ultra-high-grade coins. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins under strict conditions. A 2001 penny that grades MS67 or MS68 with perfect luster and no scratches can be incredibly rare. Because of that rarity, these top-graded coins have been sold for $442 and in some cases even higher when collectors compete at auctions. Let us not forget the story behind the composition of the coin. Older Lincoln pennies were made of mostly copper, but starting in 1982 the composition changed to a core of zinc with just a thin copper plating on top. That means the 2001 Lincoln penny is mostly zinc inside. While that may make it feel less valuable in terms of metal, what really matters is condition, rarity, and collector demand. So even though the metal content is worth less than a cent, the collector market can push the price of certain 2001 pennies into the hundreds of dollars. So what should you look for if you have a 2001 penny in your hand? First, check the mint mark. If it is from Philadelphia, it will have no mint mark at all. If it is from Denver, it will have a small D below the date. And if it is a proof coin from San Francisco, it will show an S. Proof coins are usually shiny with mirror-like surfaces, and collectors love them. Some proof pennies with deep cameo contrast and perfect grading have been sold for very strong prices. Then look closely for any doubling on the lettering or the numbers of the date. A double die variety is one of the most sought-after errors. Next, check for off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, or planchet errors where the coin is clipped or oddly shaped. These unusual features can turn a penny into a valuable rarity. The key is condition. Even if you do not see an obvious error, a coin in absolutely pristine mint state condition with no wear and strong red luster can be a jackpot. That is exactly what happened with those special examples that reached the $442 mark in auctions. Collectors are always chasing perfection, and when they find a nearly flawless coin, the bidding wars begin. This is what makes hunting through your pocket change or old coin rolls so exciting. You never know when you might stumble upon a penny that could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Now let us talk about the market. In today's coin collecting world, the demand for rare Lincoln cents is stronger than ever. Collectors love the history of Lincoln pennies, and many try to build complete date and mint mark sets. While most 2001 pennies fill a spot worth only 1 cent, those ultra-rare top-condition coins bring excitement. Dealers report steady demand, and auction results show that collectors are willing to pay over $400 when the right coin comes to market. That means if you are lucky enough to find a gem 2001 penny in an original bankroll, coin jar, or old collection, you could be holding a small fortune. To sum it all up, the 2001 Lincoln penny may look like just another modern cent, but hidden among the billions are rare treasures worth hundreds of dollars. From dramatic mint errors to ultra-high-grade certified coins, these are the examples that make the hobby so thrilling. So the next time you receive change at the store or open an old jar of pennies, take a moment to look closely at the date and condition. That ordinary-looking coin could be the gateway to an amazing discovery worth $442 or more. Thank you for watching and joining me on this journey into the world of coin collecting. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who might also have hidden treasures sitting in their pockets. Stay tuned because we will continue to uncover the secret stories, the market values, and the exciting history behind everyday coins that can be worth a fortune. Until next time, keep hunting and keep collecting. Do you want me to make this script even longer with more details about coin grading, famous auction sales, and collector tips, so your video lasts more than 15 to 20 minutes? Today's video is about a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but could actually be worth a fortune. We are diving deep into the history, details, and current market value of the 2008 Ultra Lincoln Penny. Believe it or not, this tiny 1-cent coin, struck in Denver in the year 2008, has been recorded in auctions and collectors' markets selling for hundreds of dollars, with a market value that has reached as high as $442. So if you think pennies are worthless or just pocket change, think again, because this coin proves that even the smallest denomination can hide a big surprise. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most popular and longest-running coins in American history. It was first introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it became an instant favorite among the American people. For decades, the Lincoln penny has been minted in different designs, from the famous wheat penny reverse to the Lincoln Memorial, and later to the shield design that we still see today. Each small change tells a story about the history of the United States, and every mint mark and year can carry with it secrets that collectors are always eager to uncover. Now, when it comes to the 2008 penny, this was actually a very important year in the history of the Lincoln series. Why? Because 2008 was the very last year before the design changed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth in 2009. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs known as the bicentennial designs, but in 2008 the coin still carried the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse, making it the final run of an era. That alone gives the 2008 penny a place in history. But when you add the Denver Mint mark and the special ultra condition or minting errors that are highly sought after, the value climbs significantly. The 2008 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint. Millions upon millions of pennies were produced that year, but only a small portion survive today in ultra condition, with high-grade designations like MS67, MS68, or even higher. Collectors will pay large sums of money for those coins because they represent the best examples of the final Lincoln Memorial reverse issue. This is where rarity comes into play. Even though there were millions minted, high-grade condition coins are always scarce, and in numismatics, scarcity plus demand equals value. But it is not only about condition. Many 2008 Lincoln pennies are known for striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or unique planchet flaws that can turn an ordinary-looking penny into a very valuable one. For example, a penny with a strong double die obverse, where Lincoln's features or the lettering show visible doubling, can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. Off-center strikes or coins struck on the wrong planchet can also reach jaw-dropping prices because they are so rare. And when you combine these unusual traits with the fact that it is the last Memorial reverse year, you have a recipe for a very collectible coin. Now let's talk about the market value. Ordinary circulated 2008 Lincoln pennies that you might find in pocket change are usually only worth face value, just 1 cent. However, if you find one in brilliant uncirculated condition, with no scratches, bright red luster, and sharp strike, then you are already in the range where collectors are willing to pay premiums. A certified coin graded by PCGS or NGC can sell for $10, $20, or even $50. But here is where it gets really exciting. The ultra-high-grade coins, those that reach MS68 red, have been auctioned for hundreds of dollars. In fact, some of the most pristine examples of the 2008 Lincoln penny have fetched prices as high as $442 in the open market. That is an incredible return on a 1-cent piece, and it proves once again that condition and rarity rule the world of coin collecting. Collectors all over the world love the Lincoln series. It is considered a gateway coin for many new hobbyists, and at the same time it is a deep field for advanced collectors who search for every date, mint mark, and variety. The 2008 penny has earned its place among the special ones because of its timing, its rarity in ultra grades, and the fact that it represents the final chapter of the Lincoln Memorial design. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of history, a reminder of how small objects can carry such large stories. So here is the big question. Do you have a 2008 penny in your collection, in your coin jar, or sitting unnoticed in your change? It is definitely worth checking. Look closely at the mint mark, inspect the condition, and if you think you have a gem, consider sending it to be graded. That small step can turn your penny into a treasure. Remember, not all coins are created equal. The difference between a common penny and a $400 penny can be just a few small details that only the trained eye or professional grading can reveal. As you can see, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Every coin tells a story, and some coins tell stories that are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The 2008 Ultra Lincoln penny is one of those coins. From its historical importance to its collector value and market prices, it stands as proof that even in the modern era, coins can still be rare, valuable, and exciting to discover. So next time you are about to spend a penny, take a moment and look at the date. You might just be holding a hidden treasure worth much more than 1 cent. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 2008 Ultra Lincoln penny and its surprising value, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting videos, and share this with your friends who might have coins hiding in plain sight. Who knows, one of them could be holding the next valuable find. Would you like me to make this script even longer and more detailed by adding sections about how to identify errors on the 2008 penny step by step, or keep it at this engaging storytelling length?